What's up? How we doing, guys? We are live, baby, and we are 35 seconds out from the close of Big Bar 29. You are looking at an NQ 5-minute chart. We're going to see what we can get done here late morning here today. What I would like to see happen is either the bears start yanking this baby downside, we head down, I can take trades all the way down, I'd love to do so, or continuation up, maintain a big, I'd probably call it a big soft bull channel. Right now, what we're kind of looking at is this does have potential. So we'll see. Though, I gotta be honest, I don't hate it that much because it's 80 points wide. Right, sideways trading ranges can make room for little continuation scalps when they're wide enough, because it gives you enough room for them to develop. So let's see what we get. Bar 30 here, 440 out. How we doing? Let's get to it. Happy Pharaoh Friday, baby. I pop over to gold here for a second. ATR on gold, 6.8. Yeah, it's not too bad. I imagine we might enter a little trading range here from 25 to current. Yes. Yeah, I like NQ better. And silver. Out of the metals, I'd like gold better, honestly. So I guess NQ is the move here. All right, ATR here on NQ. Again, this is a 5-minute chart. We're sitting at 30. Now, 30's not too bad. If we can maintain in the 30s, that would be tremendous. That's kind of a tall order. I imagine we're probably going to dip into the 20s at least for a little while. The way that the range on these bars is headed. Now, when you end up, this kind of scenario happens a lot. You end up with kind of an early look. You're like, what do I look at? Probably a wedge, which tells me what? Since I'm not really interested in wedges, but we know it's there, that tells me we're probably looking at something. Don't overthink it. Something along the lines of that, sort of, right? Which tells me that I gotta wait till that initial thought, the wedge, snaps up. I'm hoping we snap downside because that puts me in a trade within a few minutes, really. All right, minute 5 out here from the close of 30. So, I keep seeing people saying that they traded gold overnight. I can't imagine, at least once this develops. Not through here, I imagine, right? I mean, I could see how you could get faked out, that bar, maybe that bar. The problem is, by the time, that bar, it's like, okay, fair. By the time this bar comes around, the trading range argument is way too hard. Listen, on metals, guys, you can't really trade metals the exact same as NQ. Now, the thought process remains very similar, but on the metals, you got to remember that they tend to range harder and then trend harder once they finally break out. But the breakout happens less often on the metals than it does on NQ. But when it does happen, it tends to just go for a while. And I'm talking like zoomed out. Like it can go for days and days and days. And then it can range for, 2 weeks. All right, 420 out. Question here, would you take a small bull body above the 20 EMA? No. No, I mean, that on its own, no. It would need to be an honest setup look. And right now, I gotta tell you, I have my heart set on the Bears taking this baby back down. Not gonna jump on that yet. But as soon as I get a setup, I'd like to try it. It's always a little bit of a balancing act, by the way, when you do have these arguments. It's like, okay, well, we have both these arguments, so, what do we do? It's a bit of a balancing act, because if the Bears take it down through, if you can catch it, that's tremendous. But it's got to kind of thread the needle. And I want to be able to do so without taking an uncomfortable, for me, what I deem as a little bit uncomfortable as far as challenging the sideways trading range. So, I guess I'm kind of waiting for the Bears to prove something to me. Ideally, give me a nice clean close well beneath the wick low at 25. Otherwise, it's kind of blown out on this bar already. But like a small bare body, closing more up here, the risk on it's really small. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I think the probability is reasonable to look for a break through 25, take it off for a scalp, because the risk is so little. And by the way, the only reason is because of this. Remember what I feel like I used to say it more, though it doesn't mean it's no longer true. The flat bottoms, right, tend to be a bit weaker. Not that I'm taking so many trades on that alone, but I'll mix it into the thought process, of course. Mixed with any kind of ram look I can get. All right. Bar 31. We're a minute out here. ATR, by the way, holding above 30. I like to see that. Sitting at 32. Dipping now a tad below 30. James, what's up, big dog? Not yet, brother. The ATR indicator. This is just native to NinjaTrader. This is nothing special down here. All I do is I overlay the range, I guess you'd call it, indicator, over in the same, I don't know what they call it, section as the ATR. It creates this. Then I just use bars for the range and the line for the ATR. That's as fancy as I get with the indicators. Oh, come on, 32. Alright, supporting this little wedge. This is gonna snap up. Just gotta let it take a direction and go. Question, in your experience, have winter storms as significant as the one they're saying is coming messed with the market at all? So, I mean, think about this logically, right? As far as, like, the regular indices, Typically, no. But, you know, if you're like if you trade crude or natural gas, maybe, right? It depends. It depends. If you're an expert in one of those, you might take this into consideration and look at how that's going to affect the market and maybe position yourself based on that. But again, that's going to be more relevant. First of all, let me back up. I don't know if people realize this as much. The way that I see it, trading as a career typically ends up kind of looking like this. You're a day trader at heart, and it's what you want to do, and you do it for as long as humanly possible, but someday you probably start stepping back a little from the in the trenches day trading stuff, and you start taking bigger swing ideas because you have too much money. Okay, and you don't want to work as much. I mean, as far as like not wanting to do that, I'm nowhere near that point. I love sitting in the chair and trading. But a lot of guys, you know, they describe their career as such, where they say, yeah, you know, I was in the trenches for a couple of decades. Now I trade for maybe an hour a day, and it's mostly just managing bigger positions. And it's like, oh, what do you trade? They're like, oh, I trade some crude, I trade some natural gas, I take some positions in stocks here and there. To me, that's fucking boring as hell. But I get it as you get older. So, back to what I was talking about. If you're considering those things like a winter storm for if you're a crude trader or a natural gas trader, maybe it'll come into play every once in a while. Depends what the market environment is looking like. But as far as the regular indices, as a day trader especially, no, I'm not thinking about the temperature when it comes to NQ right now. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see what 33 brings here. See if 33 can give us a nice clean close beneath the wick low of 25, ideally. All right, 250 out. Come on now, you bears. Let's get something done here, man. All right, well, now that we are in a wedge, it's time for me to consult the audience as to whether I should go full port long or short. So, all right, pulls out. No cowards. You have to vote. I will vote. There's a coin flip. I'll vote down. There you go. Risky wrench. Okay, so we're 54% bearish thus far. Yeah, you know, that's pretty representative of what we're looking at as far as this is basically a coin flip. So, if you don't believe what I'm telling you, as far as probabilities in a situation like this, just look at the poll. The market's confused. I think everybody's confused. Which makes it tough to find edge, you know? I'm not saying that everyone knows exactly what to do every time we have edge. What I am saying is the market operates on a sliding scale. As far, well, at least the way I look at things with RAM, right? For me, the probabilities are always, let's assume a 1-to-1 reward to risk. Not that that's what I always take, but just to make the numbers easy, understand probability changes a little bit. Based on reward to risk, you know, the less you go on that ratio, the higher the probability. The bigger you go, the lower the probability, right? But assume 1-to-1. The probability, for me, is always 50-50, and then it extends out. A lot of trades are going to be about 60-40, and then it extends out. Some trades, most of the time in big trends, are going to be like 70-30. That's the best of the best, approximately. I'm looking for like 55 and up. This is about 51-49 at best. Coin flip. So I chill out and wait, man. Bar 34, 3 minutes, 37 seconds out. Let's see what we get. Yeah, Mo, it's important, big dog. A lot of traders don't get it. See, I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough because you gotta understand, like, what gets put on the internet, which just fucking pisses me off. I find it so cringe, the whole, like, traditional, I don't know. Like people trying to make trading videos in the style of an entertainment video. It's just like, what the fuck is this? It's like it was written by AI or something. But what I'm about to say is very real, though I don't know if it's so sexy, is most of you guys who are reasonably seasoned in the market and have some kind of methodology that helps you make consistent decisions, it's not just all random, you're probably doing some logical things. And you're fucking smothering it with a bunch of bullshit trades. And you just think, oh, I must suck. It's like, no, you just hit 6 trades between bar 27 and 34. How do you ever expect the 2 you took this morning to shine when you're smothering it with garbage? Come on now. You remove that bad, I think you're going to do a lot better, even if you don't get any better on the good. This thing's breaking. This thing, you mark my words, the next 3 bars, this thing's going. Which way? Man, flip a coin, but it's going. ATR is sitting at 30, man, we're holding up. All right, 35. Do it to him, 35. Come on, Bears. Well, I bet down in the poll. I think on bar 33. Maybe 32. I don't know. 33 maybe. We're 50-50. Oh, Jesus. We're exactly 50-50 in the poll. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about a little sideways wedge like this, man? Chill out. I think we're probably sitting about 52% probability of the downside right now. By the way, not nearly enough for me to put it on, but if I get a setup, all of a sudden I'm in a trade. $250 out from the close of 35. ATR here sitting at 28, by the way. Which is, you know, it's workable. It's not the greatest ATR in the world, but we can work with that. Now, I wouldn't call this a ram trade, but I'll just throw some thoughts out there. I do not encourage you to do this. But an interesting thought here is that this wedge I've established is what? Basically, now, please listen very carefully, okay? And please use your second grade math brain. Which way this goes is approximately 50-50. It's like you start thinking, well, if I were a swing trader, I could just short with a 50-50 approximately probability, stop myself above 19, and look to take profit down toward the wick low of 11, which is better than 1-to-1. Now, is the probability exactly 50-50? It might fade a little bit. Is there a small amount of edge there? Yeah, I think there probably is. Is there enough for me to give a shit? Not really. Not really. Alright, 36. Let's see if you give me enough for me to care. Oh, and by the way, an important thing that I left out of that is because what we've been seeing the last week or so in the market, that aligns with a little bit of struggle to take out highs and lows. Market seems hesitant. Yeah, right now my favorite combo of prop firms is going to be, in no particular order, Take Profit Trader and Apex. I think those two work really well together. Again, I always say that I think it makes the most sense if you have zero edge. It's day one of trading. Buy one Apex eval. It's super cheap. Find your edge in that eval. You cap your upside risk, right? Then, once you have some edge and it's time to get some money coming in, I think Take Profit Trader with daily payouts makes the most sense. Pass a few test accounts, get money coming into the bank. Then when it's time to scale, go back to Apex, try to get 20 accounts, at least 10, 15, maybe 20 accounts, and then also still be hitting your Take Profit Trader and then make the numbers bigger. I think that's the synergistic effect of those two together. But there's a lot of great firms, man. Okay, as far as account sizes, if for most people, I would highly encourage you to look at the 50Ks as your workhorse accounts. Okay, listen, the 150s are great, man. The 300s are tremendous. But let's not pretend like I don't care who you are. The 300Ks are way more of a pain in the ass to pass. The 50Ks, I mean, I don't mean to, like, if someone's like, well, I can't pass the 50Ks, I don't mean to make you feel bad, but, like, they're pretty easy at some point to pass. They're not a big deal. You can pass them in a single afternoon. You can probably pass a bunch of them in a single afternoon, though I encourage you to have different start dates for most of your fundeds for a lot of reasons. But for workhorse accounts, to get money coming in, the 50Ks, I think, are right in the slot, dude. All right, 37. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this as soon as we can, because now, you know, more or less, right? Market's got to pick a direction and go here at some point. Yeah, as far as, you know, prop firms versus personal accounts, listen, I love both. I love both. Personal accounts, of course, are always a huge, huge, great thing that are always going to be relevant, right? But prop accounts are also very special. If you're somebody who just treats them like an opportunity to gamble, I can't help you. I'm sorry. But realistically, you know, imagine for a second if you're somebody who, first of all, even if you're someone with a big personal account, why would you not? If you have Edge and you're making money in the personal account, if you're like, okay, well, I can spend X amount of dollars and have a huge ROI trading prop also, why would I not also do that? So this makes sense also at the expert level, I think. A lot of people, I don't think, really get that. You also still trade your personal. But if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, it's just the situation you're in. Okay, fair, right? We've all been there, dude. But you're like, I'm good at trading. I have an edge. I just don't have a lot of money. Okay, well, if your only option is personal account, you're fucked. Or you can look at prop and be like, I can get my hands on a lot of potential here for not very much money. And if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of money and has a lot of skill and you have a statistical edge in your trading, you can make a lot of money very quickly using prop as your leverage vehicle. And then you can trade prop and personal if you'd like to at some point. All right, bar 38. All right, we're 425 out here from the close of bar 38. Come on, 38. You're killing me here. Gotta be patient, man. And when the setup comes, what's the disciplined thing to do? Slap it. Slap it on. Yeah, so the best deal, by the way, today, guys, is going to be Take Profit Trader. Apex's 80% is over, but Take Profit Trader is still 40% off, and you will not pay an activation fee if you use code BIG when you buy the test account. Which means that right off the rip, when you pass, instead of paying $130 to activate it, you pay $0. Which, if you're concerned with your ROI, which you should be trading your prop, you should be treating your prop trading venture as a business. That was tough to get out. You should be concerned about your ROI. Okay, if you don't have to pay an activation fee, what does that do to your ROI potential? Well, the expenses go down, which means a little bit easier to flip that number positive and make it bigger, right? I'm all 38. Oh my goodness. ATR down to 26. What's up with ES, man? I still like NQ better. We just need this thing to break out a bit, huh? All right, is 39 the bar? Is 31 the one? I'm sorry, 39 the one? It's going to do it to him? Take this thing down, Bears. Dump this baby off a cliff. What's our poll at? I'm going to end it here. $52 down. Oh, shit. 039. Let's keep that pushing, man. By the way, big opportunity here for the Bulls to just take this right back into the range. See if they do. They might. Let's hope not. Hey, if you haven't yet, man, hey, hit like on the stream, hit dislike on the stream, just hit something, big dog. I appreciate you doing so. All right, 3.5 minutes out here from the close of Big Bar 39. ATR 27, still kind of tight. Beautiful 39. Oh, come on now. Don't grow too much on me. Don't grow too much on me. I do not want to see an outsized bar here. ATR 28. This bar getting kind of sizable. Let's see. Range on this bar up above 40. 42-ish. After all this garbage, I gotta tell you, I don't want that bar getting over 50 points in range. Where we at? 44. 2 minutes out. Yeah, that bar is going to be... Oh, shit. That bar is very much so going to be outsized. 55 on the range. A little higher. All right, well. Let's see what Big Bar 40 has in store. Let's get rid of this wedge. By the way, when I say outsized bar, what I mean is it just increases the risk of that rubber band snapback, because this is a big range. Long-lived, right? Wedge, range, whatever. But that can tend to tempt the bulls when volatility's low to suck it back up or at least hesitate downside. So for me to get short, I want to see this roll over into bar 40. I want to see bar 40 not give a single care in the world. Also dump off into a moderate bear body, close nice and clean, then I'll short that thing. With the size of that bar, I just can't trust it. 50 seconds. Alright, 40. Come on now, do it to me. Now you see this, right? We're about 20 seconds into the bar. 25 seconds into the bar. And 40 struggling to take out the wick low of 39. That's a lot of hesitation. 30 seconds in, still has not taken out the wick low of 39. Even if had I put an order out, that'd have been no fill, no trade. This is exactly what I don't like about 39. That's an outsized bar. When you have this, that relationship gets a little used to this price. When you see a big breakout attempt, again, first bar closing well outside. If, 37, 38 were more reasonable and 39 was a bit smaller, all of a sudden I can justify the smaller risk because I'm risking the signal bar. When I got to put on 57 points of risk with an ATR of 29 or 30 after this garbage, is that really an expectation I want to ask of the market? Is, hey, you got to go another 40, 50 points without hesitating. I've seen this too many times. Bar 40 doing what I was nervous about. So let's watch 40. Let's see if it can start to fade here and give me a reasonable setup without growing this wick up top too large. There you go, 40. Take that down through. There you go. Attaboy. What's my win rate? Probably about 1 to 2%. All right, halfway through bar 40 here. See this hesitation out of 40? That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's exactly why I gotta wait for 40. Height, weight, I'm 5'1", 125. I bench 95 pounds and I drive a smart car. Anything else we'd like to know about Nico? Big bar 40, not getting it done, big dog. All right, there's the open of bar 41. Oh, goodness, man. Goodness. This is one of those days, at least, well, middays. Right now, the highest ROI activity is to not give the market risk it has not earned. Goes back to what we were talking about yesterday, right? If your two options are do nothing as a coffee shop owner, you just opened your, shiny new coffee shop. You have two options today, or I guess in the next 60 seconds. You can do nothing, or you can sell a cup of coffee that costs you $9 to make. You're importing this shit for $3. What are you gonna do? Well, if you care about that business even a little, you're probably gonna do nothing. But why would you do something in your trading business when there's no edge for you, whatever that means? But 41, man, here, starting to look kind of interesting. I like 41. 355 out. Let's see if we get a close here out of 41. Let's keep that bar reasonably sized. Give me a nice clean close. Very little wick beneath the wick low of bar 40. Well, it's about time, Bears. I won the bet, by the way. We went lower. Man, I won the coin flip bet. So did about 100 other of you. Good work. Those of you guys who voted bullish, man, you're in timeout for 10 minutes. All right, 215 out. Don't grow that bar too much more now, Bears. Come on now. ATR 31. Give this thing a little bit more leeway this time. All right, 45 seconds out. Chill out, Bears. Give me a break here. Let me put something on. 35 seconds. Pop on over to the execution screen, baby. Go ahead and get my copy trader engaged. And let's see. Let's see what we've got. Bar's getting a little sizable, still within reason. Now I just need that, check that box of a reasonably clean close, not too much wick. 10 seconds, get my stop limit sell ready. Come on, Bears. There you go. Son of a gun, place that guy there. And I shall give that about 25 seconds, just because bar 40. Give me a fill. If it does not give me a fill within 25 seconds, then those Bears are a little too insecure, and I don't want to take that bet. I'm not looking to bet on insecure Bears. Let's see if they can take that guy down. 5 seconds. No fill, no trade. Got to pull it. All right. See that? Hesitation out of the bears. That's why I like using those stop limits. All right, 250 out here from the close of Big Bar 42. Two minutes. Might have something here. All right, 55 seconds here. 42 looking reasonable. Go ahead and pop on over. Go ahead and get my copy trader engaged. And I need 42 to close clean as possible beneath the wick low of 41. That's what I got to see, and then I would give it probably 20 seconds or less. Give me a fill. Nah, we're not getting it, are we? Oh, you insecure ass bears. All right, 43. What's up? Come on, bar 43. Let's tank this thing, dude. I would love to be able to stop hunt the wick low of 2 here at some point today. Though, if we could get ATR up, like back up into the 40s, man, would be tremendous. What I don't want to happen here is this. You know, you come back in kind of that 50% retracement zone. Over the next, like, 5 bars, you end up just doing this. That would be some garbage. So we do not want that. A lot of that kind of pivots on bar 43 here. Oh, 43, you balls! I'm trying to make this thing a trading range. All right, 15 seconds out here from the close of 43. Do we see a trade range here from 41 onward? Well, we shall find out, man. All right, back in a couple minutes. Don't you go anywhere. What's up? Welcome back. Did I get anybody? All right, 46. We are 442 out here from the close of Big Bar 46. And we shall see, man. Right now I'm thinking, do we end up seeing a sideways trading range from bar 40 onward? Meaning we pull back in and bounce off that 41, 42, 43 low area. Or can we, kind of, I think, continue this downside would be ideal for me. Turning this into more like a soft bear channel. Let's see. A nice small to moderate bear close here out of 46 in the next 4 minutes would be likely be a trade for me if it could close up nice and clean. All right. All right, we're a minute 37 out here from the close of bar 46 here on the NQ 5-minute chart. Now again, my number one concern is that becoming a thing. So let's hope 46 can break higher, 47 can give us a push. All of a sudden, I got something I can take. About 70 seconds out here from the rollover. Question, why do you count the bars? What's your strategy? Well, I trade RAM. That's my spin, I suppose you'd call it, on price action trading. It's the wrench action method. I count the bars from the New York session open, simply to make it easier on myself and all of you as well, but mostly myself, to look at bars and not having to figure out what time it closed. It's just a pain in the ass. So I'll say, oh, I took bar 17 or whatever. Because it's the same for everybody, regardless of time zone. Yeah, it's a voice changer. Obviously, everybody knows this. Oh, 47. All right, we're 350 out here. From the close of 47 again, 47's got work to do. We're pulling back in, which tells me that I think the Bears are looking at this as a potential trading range. Bulls are getting a little bit insecure, taking it up through the wick high of 46, and that 20 EMA happens to be there as well. Though it's been tested on quite a few bars so far today, so I'm not really thinking about it quite as much. We got 322 out to the close of bar 47. I'll see if we can give me a nice clean close, ideally well above the wick high of 46, without growing too much and becoming an outsized bar itself here on 47. That would kind of have to thread the needle for me to be interested in getting along. Let's see if we can get it done. Otherwise, we may just be looking at single bar sideways trading range, which would not be tremendous. The word of every day. Come on now. By the way, you heard the misses. Hit like. Man, hit dislike. Hit something. Hit a button, baby. It helps out tremendously. And I appreciate you doing so. You heard the misses. Don't disrespect. All right, 90 seconds out here from the close of 47. Well, I'm curious. I imagine a lot of you guys are probably sitting flat, at least for the last few hours, huh? How many trades have you taken today? And if you care to share, though you do not have to, obviously, where are you sitting? I'm curious if we're seeing the traders taking more trades, not performing quite as well today. Especially, I'd say, since bar 20. Yeah, spam and evals. Today's probably the day to hit it. Okay, so we're 4 minutes out here from the close of bar 48. I mean, you can just see the hesitation out of the bulls. If they can get a nice pop and a clean close. ATR's 31. Yeah, close of 6. Very reasonable trade. Good job. Very good job. All right. 248 out. That's from the close of bar 48 here on the 5-minute NQ chart. That's NASDAQ futures is what we're hitting here today. Kind of the bread and butter. Oh, 1 second, I gotta sneeze. We're back. All right. Come on, 48. Minute 25 out. Oh, man. All right, 35 seconds here. You insecure bulls, dude. Come on now, you. All right, we're 3.5 minutes out here from the close of 49. ATR down beneath 30, sitting at 29 here on the ATR. All right, well, let's see if we get an inside close here on a bar 49. You know, let me tell you guys something. A lot of you probably already know this, but those of you guys who are a little bit newer to the industry, let me warn you of something. When the market's doing this, this is simultaneously the worst part of the job and the most dangerous part of the job, being a day trader, right? If you can conquer just sitting and doing this when the market's doing this, tremendous work. You gotta let your good trades shine. You can't smother them with garbage when it's doing this. There you go, Bears! See, you gotta be nice to the bulls. Kind of caress them, whisper, give them compliments. With the Bears kind of like to be yelled at. All right, 49. Come on, Bears. Take that thing lower. All right, big bar 50. We have a history with Big Bar 50, don't we? I like Big Bar 50. 350 out. Let's see if it can do something for us here today. Well, you know, ATR's holding up. We're still at 30. Which, I gotta tell you, I mean, that starts giving me a little bit of hope that we're at least holding on to 30 with the ATR heading into the afternoon. I'll at least give 50 a shot. Give it a chance to give me a nice bear close. Though right now, gotta be weary, right? Two ways you could look at this. It's early to draw this, though if we could see that, yeah, maybe. Again, it's a little early to draw that. Overarching context, what is it? Well, I'd say it's probably about this, right? Kind of a slow, soft bear channel with channels up top. More like trading ranges, tight single bar sideways trading ranges up top. But if I can draw a sideways trading range, again, I like to draw the one that's more dangerous to me if I can help it. So I will leave that out. And see what bar 50 does here in the next minute or so. Well, I'll tell you guys what, if you're taking this opportunity to work evals, I think that's a pretty good choice to make here today while we wait on volatility. We shall see what the afternoon brings. A no-trade Pharaoh Friday stream. How unfortunate. We like to party on Fridays, man! But we gotta stay disciplined, do what we can. I shall see what the afternoon here brings. Hey, if you're hitting evals, Take Profit Trader is gonna be the best deal here today. Code BIG. VIG, that'll give you 40% off the test, and you will not pay an activation fee when you pass the account, which is 130 bucks just off the top. That's a big deal. All right, guys, do your job this weekend. Rest up, see if we can finish out the day strong. We'll see what the afternoon here brings. I gotta hit lunch. It's about that time. All right, guys, hey, I'll see you next week. Midas Monday. Let's have a big start to the week next week.